Good morning, buenos días, and welcome to Urban Update. I am Alberto Vasallo. Now, on the show this morning, a very unique adoption story. We'll also reintroduce you to the Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology, and later on, we'll bring you up to date with the much-discussed North-South rail link. But up first, Gonzalez, a Democrat and once top aide to former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick, became the first candidate to throw his name in the ring for the 2018 Massachusetts gubernatorial race. Now, Gonzalez, who has experience in both the public and private sectors, served during the Patrick years as an administration and finance secretary. And he recently resigned from his position as CEO and president of Celtic Care Health. He joins us this morning to lay out his case for why he is a worthy challenger to incumbent Charlie Baker. Welcome to Urban Update.
Thanks for having me, Alberto.
Absolutely. And welcome back, because you actually were here when you were CEO and
yeah.
president of Celtic Care.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get right to it.
Yeah.
Why are you running?
I'm running because I want to bring leadership back to Massachusetts. We've got lots of big challenges we're facing that are holding people back. And I think we need a governor and a government that is working with a sense of urgency to try to make progress on those issues to help people, whether it's affordable housing or affordable higher education or health care, child care. We need to make progress on these issues. I also think it's really important that our governor be a leader in standing up for people and standing up against hate and discrimination. And I want to be that kind of governor.
Okay, so take me through this, because I know it's a process, right?
Yeah.
At what moment did you say to your friends, and I'm sure you had a discussion with the wife, I'm going to do it? What was that moment?
Discussion with the wife.
What was that moment? When did it come?
Late last year, late 2016 is when I really decided I was going to do this. And I don't know if there was any particular moment. I'd been thinking about it for a while, but I think the fact that my wife was on board and supportive, and my two daughters, who are 16 and 13, were excited about it and actually want to help on the campaign, I think that put it over the top.
All right, so why declare so early? Because you're the first one, right?
I am, and I think it was important for me to get out as soon as possible and get around this state and meet as many people as possible, which I've been doing for the last month and a half since we launched this campaign. I want to build a real strong grassroots campaign and get as many people involved as possible, share my message and vision for what we should expect from our governor and our government, and also have a chance to hear from people.
All right, so let's get into Gonzalez. What qualities and experience makes you qualified to run the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
Well, so I was Governor Patrick's Secretary of Administration and Finance. So I was in his cabinet, and I was responsible for overseeing the state budget during the Great Recession. So I know how state government works. I also was CEO of a health insurance company that covers low-income people in the Medicaid program here in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire. And I turned my company around and grew it by multiple times. So I think I bring the leadership experience to deliver on the type of ambitious agenda that we need.
Okay, speaking of an ambitious agenda, what would be your top three priorities, or at least on the campaign trail, what are the top three that you're going to be kind of letting folks know that that's what you're behind?
So I have lots of priorities. There are lots of areas we need to make progress. One example is preschool and childcare. I think this is an area where we can make a real difference for kids in making sure they get the solid start they need. And we can really help parents, for most of whom it's too expensive right now, and many of them can't send their kids to childcare or preschool, which means they also can't go to work to support their families. So this is an area that's really important to me. I think we can make a huge difference for kids and families. And by the end of my first term, I want to make sure every single kid in this state has access to good quality child care and preschool.
Okay. Now, recent polls, I mean, Charlie was like #1 most liked governor. Now in the most recent, he's like the third most liked governor in the country. But what are your biggest differences with the incumbent, Charlie Baker?
So the biggest difference, I think, is just how we see the job. He ran last time on he was going to try to manage government better. I don't think he's done a great job on that, and I think my record stands up against his on that really well. But the difference is, unlike Governor Baker, I think managing government well is necessary, but it's not enough. We need a governor who's going to see the way the world should be and help take us to that place. We have lots of places where we need to make real meaningful progress for people, and that's a big difference between me and Governor Baker.
You've also proposed that the governor's office be subject to public record request. Why do you think that's so important?
Well, I think one of the things this last presidential election has shown us, and as President Obama said in his farewell address, we can't take our self-government and our liberties for granted. One of the ways in which our government is accountable to people and people can get engaged is by our government being open. And right now, Massachusetts is one of only 2 states in the country where the governor's office is not subject to a public records law. And that's not okay. So if I'm governor, I'll not only file legislation to change that, but I will voluntarily comply with the public records law.
All right, and before we go, we've got a minute. I'm going to give you a minute to tell me your background, because Jay and Gonzalez is not usually 2 names I see together, right?
So my mom is from Cleveland, Ohio, and during college she went away on a foreign exchange program, and 9 months later came back married to my 19-year-old father and pregnant with me. So my dad is from Spain, came to this country, didn't speak English, had never been to college, but he worked his way from laying bricks in a city sewer system to becoming a successful small businessman and a proud American citizen. They raised 3 sons, and this year they're going to celebrate their 47th wedding anniversary, which is amazing.
And you did it right with the perfect timing, so
great.
That's good. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
All right, absolutely. Okay. Stay right there, because up next, the much-discussed North-South Rail Link, which is a project that would create an unbroken rail route from Maine all the way to Washington, D.C. The details coming up right here on Urban Update.